All right, so Vicky Cool here with Matt from True Villains. How you doing, man?
Hey, how are you?
So, those that are watching right now and they're not too familiar with you guys yet, give me a little backstory on the band.
Yeah, so we're I'd say right down the middle rock band from Nashville, Tennessee. We all met here pursuing various careers in the music industry, and we all realized that we wanted to be in an original rock band and started writing music. Been through a couple lineup changes, and we're off to the races now, playing some rock and roll music here in Nashville.
Awesome, man. How the lockdown treat you?
Man, it was like mentally it was tough, which I'm sure a lot of people and creative types that like to work in group settings and kind of being sequestered by yourself was tough, at least for me, because I like being in the creative process. I like being in the room with people and working out ideas. So that was tough. But we tried the Zoom thing, but it's kind of hard when you can't really hear everybody and everyone's trying to talk over each other. You got five different people in there, so that was a nightmare at first. But once we felt comfortable, we started getting together and writing, and that was cool to literally have nothing else to do. Your only job is to write. So we got some really cool tracks. Actually, the two tracks that we just released, Dig, Your Grave, and Awake at Night, were recorded over quarantine. So those were both written and recorded over quarantine. So that was, I guess, a nice thing for us. Was like we were very focused on doing that because we didn't have any other distractions, because you couldn't really do anything else. You couldn't tour or play shows or anything like that.
Now, A Wicked Night was your newest single that came out a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
Now, what's the plan? I mean, is that kind of like the new industry standard to go ahead and do singles every couple of weeks, or do you guys got a full album coming out, or what?
Yeah. I mean, we're all uh I don't want to call us old school, but we love listening to full bodies of work from artists that we listen to. But in today's kind of industry standard, it doesn't make sense, I guess, financially to put out a full length. Um, just because I feel like a lot of it gets lost in the void, and people's attention spans these days are so small that they're not going to listen to a 12 song record. They'd much rather just listen to the single and move on to another band. Unless you're a band that has a massive following that'll listen to everything you put out, I feel like putting out singles is the way to go as far as building an audience goes, because then you can catch their attention for that brief moment of time and hopefully keep that attention for 3 minutes and 30 seconds. So yeah, as of right now, I think we're just going to be putting out singles. I mean, we have material to put out a full length, but I think just based off of the way the industry is going, that singles are the way to go. Unfortunately, because I love when you get a full record with artwork and liner notes and all that stuff. I used to love doing that, like pulling that out and reading all those and seeing all the different pictures and artwork and things like that. So I guess social media and Instagram has taken the place of that, where you can just go onto any band's Instagram and see what they look like and whatnot. But I guess I think hopefully that answers your question.
You got to think of how many bands took a big hit, man, at the beginning of the pandemic when they did their full album, and it just got
Yeah.
lost in the shuffle. You know what I mean? Without being able to tour to back it up, it totally just.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's a huge bummer. To drop an album and not be able to tour. That's, oh man. But you see a lot of tours coming back. Actually, they're in full force now. Are you in Canada? Or are you in the States?
Buffalo.
Buffalo. Okay. Oh, cool. I've played in Buffalo a couple times. But yeah, the tours are coming back, which is good. It's good to see that people are feeling comfortable going back out on the road again, because we can't wait. Like that's what we love, playing live. Like that's kind of our thing, is we love the show and playing together.
Now, are you a little bit nervous about getting back on the road?
No, I love being on the road. I think all of us feel more at home in a hotel room than in our actual homes.
Well, what I'm talking about is just like, you know, they got this Delta variant that's going around and stuff. Like you guys are supposed to tour with Buckcherry, right?
Yeah, that's in August. I
So
mean,
with them getting COVID right now, and they had to postpone everything, that didn't affect you guys, though, right?
no, no. I just talked to someone today, and our dates are still agreeing as of right now. But yeah, I think everybody is just excited to get back out there, and yeah, I'll leave it at that. I think that we've taken account the risk, and I think the reward of playing live music. Maybe I'm young and dumb, but the reward of playing live music outweighs the risk of getting COVID at this point in time for me. So maybe that's a stupid answer, but I guess that's how I feel.
No, I mean, this is what you do for a living. You know what I mean? To have that taken away from you for the past year and a half. I mean, you got to start back up somewhere. You know?
Yeah, and I think it's going to be a slow process as far as the general population of people being comfortable being in a room of a bunch of other people. We played our first show back once all the CDC guidelines were lifted in Nashville, and it was a strange. I kind of had a little bit of a moment of just like being in a room with that many people, just because like mentally you're not used to doing that.
Right.
And it was like I had to kind of take a moment and like, I guess, process everything. And like I've never had like social anxiety, but I feel like it was like a moment of like, whoa, this is strange. I don't know how to like cope with this, just because you've gone like a year of not being around that many people, and then you're in a big room with a ton of people all at once, you know. So but now, I mean, now I've gone to shows and I feel comfortable like going out. So I think that's an individual thing. It's like whether or not you feel comfortable or not doing that. And for myself, I do feel comfortable doing that. So it's been great. I love it. I love getting back to being around people.
You know, it's going to be interesting when you start playing on an actual tour and going from like state to state and seeing the difference in people. You know, who's comfortable, who's not. You can tell who's been open longer than others. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, especially if you go down to Florida, because I don't think they even realized there was a pandemic down there.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you know, what's crazy. I mean, like I'm in New York, so I mean, I got a completely different view of it than others did because it was, you know, I mean, they were putting bodies on the streets in New York City. You know, you know what I mean?
Oh gosh, that's tragic. Yeah.
You know, and then in doing this, you talk to places, you know, like Florida, or even talk to people even as close as Virginia. And they're like, nothing happened here, man. We were maskless and running around from the get go.
Yeah, in Nashville, thank God there wasn't like I guess a massive spike where they had bodies out in the streets. We have a couple friends that are nurses, and they would kind of keep us up to date on what the COVID situation was in Nashville. And thank goodness we didn't have like a gnarly scenario like what happened in Italy, where everybody was sequestered, and they had a big spike. I don't know if you saw that viral video of a guy that was in his apartment, and his I think it was his sibling had passed away, but he couldn't do anything about it because everybody had to stay inside. And like, oh my gosh, man, can you imagine that? That's but yeah, thank God that we've been able to avoid such tragedies amongst our band. And obviously, hearts go out to people that have had that tragedy happen in their family.
See, with being locked in like this and doing these Zoom things, I've been doing with bands all over the world, people I've never usually talked to, and it's so interesting to see what it's like over in France or you know Brazil or you know
Yeah,
Norway and you know different shit I've been doing all the time. It's just
yeah,
they're way different than we are. You know what I mean?
yeah. Oh yeah. Well, what's the general consensus in Europe? Because I heard that they had like a spike recently, but
The last time I spoke to somebody over there was about a month ago, and they had to have these cards like when you went out somewhere, you had to prove where you're going. Like, say you're going to the supermarket. When you got there, it had to get stamped. So that's where you went, and that's where you know. And then if you got caught without your card and you're wandering around, then you can get fined for breaking curfew, so to speak.
that's a little extreme.
Yeah, it's nuts, right?
Yeah, I don't think that would fly here. Like, I definitely don't think that. Oh my gosh, yeah. I don't know if I'd be down for Big Brother watching my every step, but that's just me.
And then you know, I mean, I talked to people in Australia, and they're like, "We're having a huge festival, man. We got 250,000 people at a show that we just played." And it was just like,
Oh my
right,
gosh.
you know,
Yeah.
you know, it's
Well,
interesting how things
I
go.
think we're like my not to get too political. We try and stay away from politics in our band, but I think at the core of the issue right now, it's like the vaccine's readily available in the United States. You know, very grateful for that. Huge shout out to all the scientists, frontline workers, and whatever that were able to make that happen. But vaccines readily available, right? So if you want to get it, you can get it. And if you feel like the statistics are on your side and you want to go out to a show, then come on out to a show. But if you don't, if you feel any way uncomfortable, don't come out to a show. And I feel like it should be up to somebody's personal choice whether or not they want to participate in publicly held events or not. So
100%, man, for sure. I mean, during this lockdown, I mean, they've shown us that we can get away with getting different things. Like, you can't go to the movies. They started releasing movies at your house. I mean, watch a TV show, they put the whole thing on a streaming network. But I know bands try to do like live stream bullshit over the internet. It's
not the same.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's nothing like going to a real show.
Yeah. I mean, we tried that a couple times and it was just so like vanilla. You get done with a song and you're used to hearing like the feedback from the crowd, and it's just crickets. And we were not. We did it twice and we were like, well, this isn't really for us, especially in rock music, because it's such like a visceral thing. It's such like an attitude driven genre where you kind of feed off of the energy that you get from the crowd. So it just didn't work out for us.
No, I mean, it's just a different. I mean, I guess I'm appreciative that I got to see some bands that I didn't get a chance to for so long, but it was still like, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
I need to have that somebody in my face. I need to be pushing someone back and forth. I need
you need to have some mysterious sweat like spewed on you, like from someone headbanging.
Yeah, I mean, I've been sitting here for so long just wanting to spend $25 on a beer and get it knocked out of my hands, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Right. Oh yeah.
So what's next for you guys?
So we've been writing a ton. Like, we kind of used this time to stockpile songs, and just been in contact with our producer and finding a time, because he's working on a couple projects right now that take precedence over us. And once we have time to get into the studio, record more songs with him, figure out how to play as many shows as possible, because I feel like with rock music, that is a huge helper in building and breaking a band is playing and having a good live show. And I think that's one of the selling points for us is our live shows, because like when people come see us play, it's definitely like a fun time. And not to brag about my bandmates, but they're incredibly talented, each at their respective instrument. And so not to say that we're like a band's band, but we definitely have moments where each member gets to shine and showcase their talent. So it's super fun for us to play together, and super fun to see the reaction of people that have never seen us play before, and just kind of get to have an evening of awesome rock music, but also getting to see some shredding done. But yeah, just definitely playing, trying to build a fan base, putting out music, and just inching along. It's just so hard with rock right now because it's so built on the live show. And since COVID happened, that was completely wiped away. And so just trying to get contacts back and booking shows to get out on the road, I guess, is our main focus right now. And making it financially responsible too, because you can't just completely step away from your life and hit the road, because you're going to drain the bank account super fast. So for us, it's trying to balance both of those things.
That's good for you, man. I mean, you had to definitely learn a lot not being able to make the income of touring for this long, and know what it takes to keep on going to get to that next level.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it's especially if you're the smaller band on a bill. It's definitely, you have to do some very good budgeting to make a tour successful for you.
Now, when you guys go on the road, I know you've been only doing singles and shit, but are you guys going to have anything for sale, like merch-wise, besides shirts? You guys going to have anything?
Yeah, we have different shirt designs. We have like hats, bandanas, stickers. We had I think we're sold out of sweatshirts right now, but it's okay because it's a summer tour, so I don't see us selling very many sweatshirts. But if we go out in the fall, we'll definitely have those reprinted. But yeah, we have your standard merch. I think I'm wearing a True Villains hat right now. Shameless plug, but that's one of our trucker hat designs.
Very cool. Now, when you're doing things on the road and you're trying to introduce fans to your music and you want them to be able to take it with them, do you guys have anything printed out like, stream us here or any shit like that?
We don't. Yeah, we have like business cards. Sorry, I don't know why I said we don't. Yeah, we have business cards with a QR code on it. I thought you meant for some reason like actual hard copies, but we didn't print out any hard copies because they don't really sell, and then you're left. We literally have boxes of our first EP in our possession that are essentially just really expensive coasters right now at this point.
One day there'll be something, you know what I mean? You gotta keep
hopefully, man. Hopefully. Thanks for the positive vibes.
Those will be fucking collector's items in the next year or two.
I hope you're right, man. Appreciate that.
The people that are watching, they want to follow up. They want to check you guys out on tour. They want to hear the music. Where do they go? What do they do for everything?
So True Villians Nashville is our handle for pretty much everything social media related. And if you look up True Villains on Spotify, Apple Music, all that stuff, that's where you can find. We have 4 singles out right now that we've done with our producer. And yeah, just follow us, like, share, and stay tuned because we're going to be putting out hopefully new tracks into this year, beginning of next year.
Awesome, man. It was a pleasure talking to you. I hopefully get to check you guys out live sooner than later.
Yeah, well, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.
All right, man. Take care of yourself.
You too. Bye-bye.